an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
Post-game show, folks. I can't hear anything, but I'm going to just say this. I'll just go and watch the mouth stop moving for my guests here. The Detroit Lions defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. I talked a lot, Kurt, then Anthony, go ahead.
Man, what a game, what a win, and they just made plays when they needed it. And I like the way that when it came down to it in the fourth quarter, Ben Johnson just gave the ball to David Montgomery and said, "Get me the yards, get me the yards, get me the. I need you to run this clock and get me the score." Jared Goff was up and down all game, didn't turn the ball over. I think this was probably one of the biggest things. We forced a turnover for Patrick Mahomes on the miscue by Kadarius Toney and Brian Branch took it to the house. He is him. He has arrived. Brian Branch is him. I said he was getting close to him status, but given a pick six in his first game against the Kansas City Chiefs and Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, he is him. I love what the Lions did in this game. They just were scrappy. They were the Dan Campbell bunch that we all know and love. And we start off the season 1-0 going into spoil Super Bowl banner night in Kansas City. What you got, Anthony?
Oh, man. Did it just happen? I don't know if did we actually beat them? I'm still pinching myself. I don't know whether this is real or not. It is 20-5 in the morning here. I don't care. I'm hyped more than anything. I've just been through the absolute emotional roller coaster. I mean, coming into this season, the only question I had about this team, I know it's got the talent, it's do they have the next level of mentality? You've got to go out there, you've got to win games, you've got to shut games down, and when you've got 5 minutes left on the clock, you turn the ball over on 4th down and you're thinking, oh God, here we go again. Defense goes out, make a stop. Pascal blows the play up, forces them back, makes them pump. We get the yards. That is the mentality of a champion. And our team showed it in the hardest stage of them all, when everyone ripped them off, when no one gave them a chance. We don't deserve to be on this. We don't deserve to be in the first game of the season. You're going to get beaten by the Chiefs. You're not fit to hang with these guys. Well, screw everybody who doubted us. We are absolutely on their level, and we are danger. And teams, you're now going to fear us. We did it against the Packers. We've done it against the Chiefs. You sleep on us, we'll kick your ass.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, folks, I can't hear what's going on, but I know they're pretty happy. I lost my voice anyway, so I'm going to give this opportunity for these guys really to talk until the audio back here goes down. Thought about the defense, Kurt?
Defense stepped up when they needed, and I don't know I don't know how much barbecue the refs ate, because they were it was the right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs was false starting the whole game. They only called it one time. He was false starting and holding the whole game, and they only called it one time. But they called it at the opportune time for the Lions. But you look at C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You know, we had a few miscues here and there, but the coverage was good. They played more zone. I was surprised that they played a lot of zone in this game. Probably had to deal with the speed of the receivers. But they didn't give Patrick Mahomes a lot of throwing lanes. So I like the pressure that Aiden Hutchinson. I'm wearing my Hutch jersey right now. He didn't get him on the ground, but he was in Mahomes' face the whole freaking game, man. I love the pressure that Aiden Hutchinson got on Mahomes all game. He pressured him. It was one of those things where you see the uptick in play for the defense, and this is going to be a good year for the Lions defense. What you got, Andy?
Thoughts on defense, man?
I mean, they're the MVPs today. The defense are the MVPs. They are the reason that we won this game. I mean, the offense started well early on, first drive, second drive, looked great. After that third drive when they ballsed it up, the defense made play after play after play after play after play. They kept us in this. Branch gets the pick six. I know we didn't get any sacks on Mahomes, but the pressure was making him panic. It was making him make mistakes. The receivers making mistakes because they knew they were going to get hit by our guys. Tony was one of our MVPs today. Just didn't want to catch a damn thing. But the defense, just every time a question was asked of them in so many critical situations when the offense was not working, they made stop after stop after stop. And it was everybody. Like I say, Pascal making that massive play at the end. They sniffed out that trick play. Usually the Chiefs convert stuff like that. And he just burst through the line. Big tackle for us, forced them to get rid of it. The guys were just relentless. The young guys, Campbell making plays, Branch, just turned the game round with that pick. Because at that point, it felt like the game was just starting to get away from us. And every time, it just felt like the Chiefs were getting a little bit there. The defense did something which brought it back for us. I was just so impressed with the lot of them. There were always going to be growing pains. Like on the touchdown drive, 3rd and 17, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone. That we have problems with coverage. You could see them shouting at one another. It's going to happen when you've got so many new guys on the team. But it's about how do you adapt? How do you face that adversity? And in the second half, they came out and they looked so much damn better. They were working together. It's just working out the kinks in the system. But the defense, MVP, the lot of them.
So we talk about this game here. What did you like from us going for it on 4th down on our own territory? Ballsy move. That's the ballsiest move I think I've ever seen Dan Campbell and this staff do, Kurt.
Yeah, it was grit, man. You play that. What Medea say? You play grit ball, and I mean, you look at that play. That's a Dan Campbell special, and the guy that would normally do that is out of the NFL right now with C.J. Moore. But you had the old reliable Jalen Reeves-Maybin come in there and make that play, man, and the offensive line on that special teams just pushed him. And I like the call, man. It's just like we're going to play ball to the wall all year long, and it's going to be one of those things where we're not going to be afraid to go and try to win the game.
Everybody's asking about Brian Branch injury as a cramp, folks. He was back in the game just a couple plays later. Same with Levi and Uzurike. Very hot over there, and it's nothing serious if you're wanting to know about that. Ant-Man, thoughts on going forward on 4th down in the beginning of the game?
It was very ballsy, and I think they caught the Chiefs sleeping. I know they weren't expecting it. I mean, 6 minutes in the game, you are at your own 17, you bust that out. It's ballsy, but you've got to do that. If you want to go to a place like Arrowhead and win, you've got to take some risks sometimes. I say early in the game, they're sleeping. And the best part is you get the touchdown on the drive afterwards. So it justifies the decision in a way. Again, if you don't do that early and we punt and the offense just doesn't get going at all, you do not win that game. So it's balls to the wall stuff. We want to get in the playoffs this year. We got to take risks. We can't just be, we can't just sit back and be laid back about things. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to go out there and take it. And that's what this team is. It's aggression. It's going to force you to play hard. They worked the Chiefs incredibly hard. The Chiefs, they struggled with us for a lot of this. They looked like they couldn't hang with us. And, that's a testament to how well the team played.
I love this comment over here is talking about how they didn't have Kelsey, Chris Jones. Great comment here. Well, we didn't have Jamison Williams and Emmanuel Mosley. Kurt, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses, and I'm not going to take that excuses because we weren't fully healthy, right?
Right. I would never take an excuse. You would never hear those guys on the other sideline have an excuse themselves. So you look at this game, you have to play the guys that's on the field. The guys that lines up in front of you. And even without Kelsey and Jones, most of people still pick the Chiefs to win the game. So I don't care who played, who didn't. As long as the guys on the field played and lined up and the Lions came out with the victory, that's what I care about, man. I don't say it's an asterisk because the Chiefs can't say it's an asterisk on this win because we had this guy, we didn't have that guy. You play to win the game. You got to play the guys that's out there.
Ant-Man, you know, they're going to say, well, another thing is, first off, I didn't think all the calls were great. I got to say this. There's that holding face mask, and we still overcame it. It wasn't a perfect game, but we overcame it against the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. It's, you know, as much as these decisions are bad, Dan said it early in his tenure here, you can't, you know, the refs are going to have decisions. You've got to overcome that. You've just got to get on with it. If they are making stupid decisions, you've just got to carry on playing better. There's too many times when, the refs have screwed us, but we've just not overcome it. In this game, the refs are screwing you blatantly, to the point when even Chris Collinsworth is talking about it on air. The commentator is talking about it on air and laughing about it because it's that bad. Yeah. And yet, despite that, they didn't shrink into their shell. They didn't go, oh my God, it's not our day. The refs are going to give us nothing. They went, you know what? Screw you, refs. We don't care. We're going to carry on kicking their ass. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter how many bad calls you give us. We're still going to go and beat them. So you take the refs out the equation. So no matter how bad they screw you, you can still go and win it. And that's what you've got to do. Good teams have got to do that. But as an aside, they were a disgrace and they should be removed from the league for a significant period of time for that. It was crazy.
It was terrible. And there were a lot of holding calls were missed. Like they were holding Hutchinson almost the whole game. And then a blatant jersey grab on Lee McNeil. I'm like, what is going on? The guy tackled Charles Harris. I'm like, why aren't they getting holding calls on these guys? And I said, I think it was just too much barbecue that the refs was enjoying in Kansas City. But like you said, this is something that we haven't seen with the Lions in the past, where they were getting screwed by the refs and we can overcome it. And that was a big deal for me. And then watching this game, I'm like, man, I'm loving that, because they're not hanging their heads. They just get up and they just play the next whistle, play the next whistle, play the next down, and you can't let it get you overly reactive to the referees and what they're doing on the field. So I love the way that the coaching staff just kept them settled down and kept them on their focus on the game.
It's mentality. That's all it's to do with. It's like, right, we take the mentality that we are the better team here. We're not going to be let down by this. Nothing is going to faze us. Every single person, media pundits, everyone ragged on this team. The refs were not giving calls to this team. I mean, like that Cameron Sutton's PI, the guy was holding the goddamn flag before the ball even dropped and just threw it. The tripping penalty was stupid. I mean, it was not really much you can do there. And it's like, no, this team have that mentality now. They're locked in. They know they're better. They know they're good. And they will just control what they can control. They will just go to the next play and they will just crack on. And that is it's such a mentality shift. I know this team has the talent, and now I know it's got the mentality. That is big. It's huge. It's really made me believe in them a hell of a lot more than I already did now.
Folks, I got to shut this down. They're actually closing the shop up. It's unfortunate. I didn't realize it, but they're kicking us out. So maybe Leroy or Kurt, if you want to go live, you can take all the people on your channels if you want to do that for a post-game show. Right. So one of these guys will go live and get it, but they're kicking us out. Do apologize for that. Nothing I can do. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Go to one of these guys. With that said, adios.